Man, this week has been a whirlwind, hasn't it? Talk about a roller coaster. 1 minute, everything's fine, and then, bam, markets go haywire,
It really came out of nowhere, didn't it?
especially in the tech sector. Monday was rough. Did you catch what happened?
Oh, yeah. AI stocks, especially.
And the epicenter of it all. A Chinese AI startup, DeepSeek.
DeepSeek, yeah. They're the ones who kind of kicked this whole thing off.
I never even heard of them before this.
Me neither. They just dropped this new AI model. It's called R1. And, well, it sent shockwaves through, well, everything, really. The markets are panicking, analysts are scrambling, and the whole AI landscape seems to have shifted overnight.
It's crazy, right? Forbes, Bloomberg, MarketWatch, they're all comparing it to the launch of Sputnik.
Yeah, that's a pretty dramatic comparison, but I get it.
Explain that to some of our listeners who might not be familiar with that.
Okay, so back in 1957, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik, the first artificial satellite. And it totally blindsided the U.S. No one saw it coming.
Like, whoa, hold on a sec. How did they manage that?
Exactly. And it triggered this massive panic, right? Suddenly, the U.S. realized they were falling behind in the space race, and it kicked off this whole new era of technological competition.
The Cold War and all that.
Exactly. And that's what people are saying about DeepSeek. This is like the AI Sputnik moment. It's a challenge to the established order, a sign that the balance of power might be shifting.
So DeepSeek is the new space race competitor.
Yeah.
But in the AI world.
You got it. And the thing is, their R1 model isn't just some, like, flashy gimmick. It's actually going toe-to-toe with OpenAI's O1 model.
The one that everyone's been talking
The
about.
one and only. And in some performance benchmarks, DeepSeek's R1 is actually beating it.
Hold up. Are you saying this DeepSeek model is better than anything we've been able to create?
In certain tasks, yeah. And get this, they're claiming they built it for a fraction of the cost.
A fraction? Like, how much are we talking?
A tiny sliver of the billions that companies like OpenAI and Google have been pouring into AI development. It's insane.
Okay, so we've got this David versus Goliath situation brewing. A tiny startup from China is suddenly outperforming the giants of Silicon Valley, and they're doing it on a shoestring budget.
Right, and that's what's freaking out the markets.
Suddenly, all that money that companies like Nvidia and Oracle have been spending on AI, it kind of looks like, well, maybe they bet on the wrong horse.
I mean, it definitely raises questions about their strategies. Like, if this small startup can come out of nowhere and leapfrog ahead, what does that say about the direction these big companies have been taking?
And all that uncertainty, that's what's driving the panic in the markets.
Absolutely. Because it's not just that DeepSeek is a new competitor, it's that they represent a completely different way of thinking about AI development, a more efficient way, maybe, and that's what's really shaking things up.
Yeah, it's not just about competition, it's about disruption.
Totally.
You know, the markets really hate that. Look at Nvidia.
Oof, yeah.
Just a few days ago, they were the world's most valuable company.
Top of the heap.
And then Monday hit. Bam! Record-breaking loss.
$589 billion. Vanished.
Gone, just like that. And that's just in one single day. That's more than some country's entire GDP. It's mind-boggling.
Talk about a billionaire wipeout.
Yeah. Larry Ellison over at Oracle, his net worth took a $27.6 billion hit. Ouch.
And Jensen Huang, the CEO of Nvidia, he's down $20.8 billion.
All in one day.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder what they're thinking right now, huh? It's like, hold on, rewind, what just happened?
Exactly. I mean, it's not like they're suddenly living on ramen noodles or anything, but it's still a massive shift in the wealth landscape.
Yep.
And it all happened because of this little AI startup that nobody saw coming.
Okay, so we've talked about the market panic, but let's take a step back and talk about what DeepSeek actually did.
Yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty.
What is it about their R1 model that's causing all this commotion? I've heard it described as having advanced reasoning capability.
Right, that's their big selling point.
But what does that even mean in the context of AI?
So, advanced reasoning, in simple terms, means that the AI can understand and respond to complex questions and tasks.
Not just like basic commands.
Exactly. It's not just about following instructions, it's about actually being able to think.
Give me an example, like how is that different than what we've seen before?
Think about those customer service chatbots you encounter online. You know, the ones that pop up and ask if you need help.
Yeah, those are usually pretty frustrating.
Most of them are super basic, right? They can answer simple questions, but if you throw anything complicated at them, they get lost.
Or they just keep repeating the same canned responses over and over, like a broken record.
Yeah, exactly. But with advanced reasoning, the AI is supposed to be able to actually understand the problem you're presenting, break it down, and come up with a solution. It's like the difference between a calculator and, a human brain.
So DeepSeek is claiming that their R1 model can actually think.
Yeah, pretty much. And they're saying it can do it better than anything else out there, and for a fraction of the cost.
And it's not all just hype either.
Nope. Their mobile app is already a huge hit.
Like how huge?
It's topping the iPhone app stores in several countries. The US, the UK, even Australia. People are downloading this thing like crazy, which suggests that it's actually delivering on its promises.
Okay, so it's not just marketing fluff.
Not at all. It seems like they've actually built something special.
Okay, hold on. Now I have a question.
Shoot.
If DeepSeek is all about efficiency, if they're building all this for less, how do we know they're not cutting corners somewhere? Are their claims about the cost of development really legit?
Not everyone's buying it.
Like who?
Well, Stacey Rasgon, she's an analyst at Bernstein, and she's pretty skeptical.
What's she saying?
She's saying that DeepSeek's numbers might be a little misleading,
Yeah.
that they're not giving us the full picture. She thinks that the real cost of development is probably much higher than they're letting on.
So they're being a little sneaky with their accounting.
Well, not necessarily sneaky, but maybe not completely transparent. She just thinks there are probably a lot of hidden costs that they're not accounting for.
Okay, so some analysts are raising eyebrows. But I've also heard some pretty big names in tech seem to be taking DeepSeek's claims at face value.
Yeah, you have guys like Elon Musk and Alexander Wang, the CEO of Skill AI. They've both said they think DeepSeek probably has over $1 billion worth of Nvidia equipment.
$1 billion worth. That's a lot of hardware.
It is, which suggests that they're not exactly operating on a shoestring budget.
Okay, so it's a bit of a mystery, right?
Yeah.
DeepSeek is all about being super efficient, but there's also evidence they're spending a ton of money behind the scenes.
It's like pick a lane. Are you the scrappy underdog or are you the big spender?
It's a classic he said, she said situation, but with billions of dollars at stake. And the markets are reacting before we even know all the facts.
Absolutely. We're all kind of just trying to make sense of this thing in real time, and that's what makes it so fascinating.
So we've got this mix of excitement and fear.
Yeah, it's a weird cocktail.
On one hand, it's this underdog story,
Yeah.
David taking on the Goliaths of Silicon Valley.
The little engine that could.
But on the other hand, their success is raising some really uncomfortable questions about the future of AI development.
Big questions.
About the role of money.
About the balance of power.
It's like DeepSeek has opened up this Pandora's box.
Yeah.
And we're only just starting to understand the consequences.
And let me tell you, those consequences could be huge.
We're not just talking about tech companies competing for market share anymore.
This is about national prestige, economic dominance, maybe even military power.
This is getting serious.
Buckle up. It's about to get a whole lot more interesting.
I feel like we've all been so focused on what's happening in Silicon Valley that we completely missed what was brewing in other parts of the world.
It's like we had tunnel vision. We assumed that the US was just going to automatically stay ahead in AI, no matter what. But DeepSeek, they've proven that's not a given.
It's like everyone was so busy watching the race between Google and Microsoft and OpenAI, they forgot to look over their shoulder, and bam, China's right there.
Yeah, and it's clear that both sides are taking this pretty seriously. David Sachs, remember him?
Yeah, Trump's AI and crypto czar. He's been pretty vocal about all this.
Totally. Well, he's saying DeepSeek is proof that the AI race is going to be way more competitive than anyone thought, and that the U.S. can't afford to be complacent anymore.
Complacency is not an option anymore, and China's not being shy about their excitement either. The Global Times, which is state-run, they're basically doing a victory lap right now.
Yeah, they're using DeepSeek's success as proof that the U.S.'s attempts to, stifle China's tech progress are failing. Miserably.
There's even a quote in the Global Times from some telecom industry expert. He's saying that the U.S. crackdown on things like China's access to advanced computer chips. That's actually backfired.
Really?
Yeah, it's pushed China to find their own solutions, their own ways of doing things. And now, because of that, they're arguably even more successful.
It's kind of ironic, isn't it?
A little bit. But it's a
Oh.
powerful narrative.
It is. It's going to resonate with a lot of people, not just in China.
Yeah, it sends a message to other countries that might be looking to challenge the U.S.'s dominance in tech. It's like, hey, look, the U.S. tried to hold us back, but we found a way, and we're winning.
It's definitely a wake-up call.
Big time.
Yeah.
So let's play this out. Say DeepSeek keeps this momentum going. Say they really have cracked the code on efficient AI development. What does that even mean for, the average person?
That's a good question.
Not all of us are billionaires freaking out about stock portfolios.
True.
What does this mean for regular people.
Well, here's the thing. AI isn't some far-off science fiction concept anymore.
Yeah, it's already here,
It's already woven into our lives.
even if we don't always realize it.
Yeah. Think about the recommendations you get on Netflix or how doctors diagnose illnesses. AI is working behind the scenes in so many ways.
It's kind of spooky, actually.
I know, right? And as AI becomes more powerful and more affordable, its influence is only going to grow.
So this is about way more than just who makes the most money from AI.
Way more.
It's about who gets to shape the future. And that future is looking a lot more complex than it did a week ago. DeepSeek's thrown a wrench into everything.
It's definitely more complex and a lot less certain.
It's like we've been walking down this one path thinking we knew where we were going. And now DeepSeek has opened up this whole new path, this whole new possibility that we hadn't even considered. And it's both exciting and kind of scary.
It is. It's like we're looking through a crack in reality. We're getting a glimpse of something bigger, something that's both amazing and terrifying.
Exciting because AI has the potential to solve some of humanity's biggest problems. I mean, think about climate change, disease, poverty. We can make some serious progress if we could harness the power of AI in the right way.
Absolutely.
But scary because we're talking about technology that could potentially become more intelligent than humans. And we're nowhere near ready to deal with the ethical and societal implications of that.
Not even close.
It's like, do we really understand what we're creating here? Do we know what we're getting ourselves into? It feels like we're standing at this crossroads.
Yeah. One path leads to this amazing future where AI helps us create this utopia. But the other path, well, it's not so pretty. It leads to a future where AI is used for bad, where it makes things worse, where it might even become a threat to humanity itself.
It's the classic sci-fi dilemma, right? Will AI be our savior or our doom?
And the thing is, we don't know which path we're going to end up on. The choices we make right now, they're going to determine everything. So what happens next? Where do we go from here?
Well, first things first, keep an eye on those earnings reports that are coming out this week.
Oh, yeah, the big tech companies are all reporting, right?
Yep. Meta, Microsoft, Tesla, Apple.
They're going to be interesting to watch.
For sure, because those earnings calls, they're going to give us a peek into how these companies are reacting to this DeepSeek situation.
Are they panicking? Are they downplaying it? Or are they going to announce some massive new AI initiative to try and, reclaim their dominance?
We'll see.
It'll be fascinating to see how they play this.
And the thing is, there's still so much uncertainty. Yeah, we don't know for sure if DeepSeek is the real deal or if this is just like a blip on the radar.
Right. Some analysts are saying we need to chill out, wait and see how this all plays out.
Like Carl Karstead at UBS, he said Oracle's stock drop felt excessive.
He's got a point. And Ross Seymour from Deutsche Bank, he's been saying that a lot of this market volatility is being driven by, geopolitical dynamics.
What does that even mean?
Well, it means that the market is reacting more to fear and uncertainty than to any hard evidence that DeepSeek is about to take over the world.
So basically, we're all just freaking out a little bit.
Pretty much.
But even if DeepSeek doesn't end up being the AI Sputnik that everyone's making them out to be, they've already done something pretty incredible.
Totally. They've shaken things up.
They've forced everyone to rethink their assumptions about how AI is developed, how it's funded, how it's going to impact the world.
Yeah, they've changed the conversation. And that's a big deal in itself.
It's like they threw a grenade into the AI landscape. And now everyone's scrambling to figure out where the pieces are going to land.
Yeah.
So where do we even go from here? I mean, DeepSeek has really thrown a wrench into the whole AI narrative.
They really have. Everyone was so focused on the big guys, Google, Microsoft, all those, that nobody was really paying attention to what was happening elsewhere.
And now, well, here we are with this massive question mark hanging over everything.
Yeah.
What if they can actually deliver? What if DeepSeek really has figured out how to do this, how to build this powerful AI at a fraction of the cost?
It's the billion-dollar question. And it's not just about tech companies or stock prices or who's got the most bragging rights.
No, it's way bigger than that.
We're talking about global power dynamics shifting.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you really think about it. If they can do this with less money, does that mean that we're closer to some truly groundbreaking AI advancements than we thought?
It's possible. And if that's the case, the bigger question is, are we ready for that? Because the ethical questions, the societal impact, the implications of truly advanced AI, that's a whole other can of worms.
That's where it gets a little scary.
A little bit. Because we're talking about technology that could potentially surpass human intelligence. And are we prepared for that?
I don't think so. Not yet, anyway.
It's like we're standing on the edge of a cliff, looking out at this incredible vista. It's exciting, it's full of potential, but it's also a long way down.
We've got this incredible technology, this tool that could help us solve some of the world's biggest problems. We could cure diseases, we could combat climate change, we could create a more just and equitable world.
I mean, the possibilities are pretty much endless. But it can also go the other way. What if AI ends up being used for the wrong reasons? What if it amplifies existing inequalities? What if it erodes our privacy and our autonomy?
What if it becomes a threat to humanity itself?
Exactly. It's a double-edged sword. And right now, we're the ones holding the handle. The choices we make today, the conversations we have, the actions we take, they're going to determine which way that sword swings. This whole DeepSeek situation, it's a wake-up call. It's a reminder that the future isn't set in stone. We still have time to shape it, to steer it in the right direction.
But we need to start now.
We can't just bury our heads in the sand and hope for the best.
We need to move past the hype and the fear-mongering and start having real, meaningful conversations about what all of this means, about the ethical implications of AI, about the societal impact.
And we can't just leave it to the tech experts. We need everyone at the table. Philosophers, ethicists, lawyers, sociologists, psychologists, everyday people. This is something that affects all of us, and we all need to be a part of the solution.
We need to think about things like transparency, accountability, fairness, safety. We need to make sure that these AI systems are designed and used in a way that respects human rights, that promotes the common good, that doesn't just benefit a select few, but benefits all of humanity.
Exactly. We need to put human values at the center of this whole conversation. And the time to start is now, before it's too late. Because this AI revolution, it's not slowing down. It's only going to accelerate.
DeepSeek is just the tip of the iceberg. It's a glimpse of what's coming.
Yeah.
And whether we're ready or not, the future is heading straight for us.
This isn't just a tech story. This is a human story. It's the story of our future.
And it's up to all of us to write it.
So stay informed, stay engaged, and stay curious. The future of AI is in our hands.
Hit subscribe and turn on notifications.